All right, let's get it going. Let's get it going. We are here with another live stream tonight. Get that up on screen. Where's it at? There we go. Go ahead and pull the comments up on my end. All right. Let's see who's going to get first in a chat tonight. It's going to be a good one tonight, guys. I can feel it. Go ahead and drop that Discord link for anybody who wants to join us over there. You guys know that the YouTube notification bell is not exactly the most trustworthy thing in the world. So if you want to get those notifications, join us over on Discord. I try to always send out notifications over there when we go live. How's it going, Wonder Bro? You're going to get first in chat tonight. What's up? What's up, Mike? Welcome, dude. All right, let's see here. Go ahead and pull this up. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, we're ahead of the game, man. We're ahead of the game tonight. Let's see. Eclipse, what's up, dude? What's up, Ghost? What's up, Gina? Welcome. Man, it's a little chilly tonight. I don't know about where you guys are from, but it's a little chilly tonight. I'm gonna have to put a hoodie on or something. What's up, Travis? Welcome, dude. Hope you had a good day. Is that me on the right? Yes, that is Ghost on the right there eating the sandwich. He's our little friend. We haven't named him yet. We haven't named our ghost friend over there eating the sandwich. So if anybody has any ideas or suggestions on what we should name him, let's name him tonight. And Mama said that it was okay. Mama said that it was quite all right. Not here in Texas, yeah. I'd say not. I'd say not. Here it's a little chilly tonight. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I've always been a fan of rainy weather, stormy weather, chilly weather. I don't mind it at all. But I'm gonna have to slap on a hoodie or something here soon. Crap, I'm 10th. Damn, everyone fast. What's up, Wonder Bro? You're 10th in chat, man. Hey, it's okay. Maybe next time, right? You'll get them next time. Don't worry about it. How are you doing, Travis? Yeah, it's almost down to 60. It is 55 here. It is 55 here. I've always got the weather right here now, thanks to that new Microsoft update, which for some reason puts the weather right there in your toolbars. So I've always got it. It is 55 here. Like I said, I don't really mind it. I don't really mind it. It's, some of my favorite weather is chilly, rainy, stormy, all that good stuff. I made it to the stream early today. Well, welcome, man. Pull up a chair. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's going to be a good one tonight, guys. Tonight, we're going to be talking about anxiety recovery. Live alongside your negative thoughts. Live alongside your negative thoughts, right? Because we've talked a lot in the past here on the channel about how, when these negative, intrusive thoughts come, we need to break out of the worry cycle by not adding fear to them, by accepting these thoughts and feelings and getting back to living life, right? That doesn't mean you have to do anything extreme. It simply means do whatever is right in front of you, something big, something small. It really doesn't matter, right? But I want to make one thing clear tonight, okay? And the whole reason we're doing this stream, I want to make one thing very, very clear, that you're not living your life and you're not using acceptance to try to make anything go away. We know that recovery is the end goal, right? Obviously, recovery is the end goal. But when these negative intrusive thoughts are causing you to be triggered, and sometimes they automatically cause you to be triggered if you're an entire nervous system. When they're causing you to be triggered and they're very high and they're very intense and they're very sticky, a lot of people will then try to use the advice as a means to make these thoughts go away. So they're doing what we call looking over their shoulder, right? Okay, I'm using the advice. You can go away now, right? They're coming at it with an attitude like that. We're going to talk about how when it comes to acceptance, when it comes to living your life, we're not coming at it with an attitude of looking over your shoulder. We're coming at it with an attitude of just living alongside everything that's going on, which kind of hints at letting everything be as it is while you do your thing, which kind of hints at letting the thoughts do their thing while you do your thing, or even the symptoms, letting the symptoms do their thing while you do your thing, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, because I have a hunch, okay, chat. I have a hunch, a small hunch, that there's some people out there that might be using the advice while looking over their shoulder. That there's some people out there that might be using the advice while telling themselves things like, okay, please leave me alone now, right? So we're gonna address that tonight. This season on Vacate Fear is dope. The Halloween theme, yes. What's up, Wonder Bro? What's up, New York? I'm assuming that stands for New York Giant, right? I'm assuming. I've always just called you New York, so I hope that's correct. 80 here, man. I like your creativity on the page. Nice Halloween stuff. You always keep it fresh, Wonderbro. I appreciate that, Edward. I love being able to decorate the stream for different holidays and stuff. It's always a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun. That is me, Wonderbro. Well, then stick around because we're going to talk about that. If you can relate to that, then stick around. We're going to talk about that. Even if you can't relate to that, stick around. You might hear something that you can relate to. All right, let's see. You correct. Okay, I thought so. I hope that was right. We're going to give it another minute. Let some people that want to join us live join up. I don't know. I'm starting to catch on that for some reason. Which, by the way, there's really nothing I can do about it. I don't know why it happens, but I'm starting to catch on that for some odd reason, like 5 minutes into the stream, we have like a spike of people that get disconnected. I don't know why. I don't know why. If that happens to you, all you got to do is refresh the stream, exit out, come back. I know that's really annoying and frustrating, but I don't know why it happens, and there's really nothing I can do about it because according to my streaming stuff, I'm green across the board, so I don't get it. I don't get it. So we'll give it a few minutes, let some people get in here, let some people get back in here if they were disconnected. I don't know why that shit happens. I'm gonna have to try to look into that. I'm like 90% sure there's nothing on my end that could be making that happen. If acceptance is being done, it doesn't work if you want your situation changed. Not necessarily, because we know that you want to recover. We know that recovery is your end goal, and we're not taking that away from you, right? So it's not that, oh, you can't want it to change. Yeah, you can want to improve, you can want to grow, you can want to recover, you can want all these things, but in the heat of the moment, right? We don't want you looking over your shoulder saying, "Oh God, this anxiety is so bad. Oh God, I don't want to feel this. Oh God, maybe if I use acceptance, the thoughts will go away." Because then you're still kind of in a combative stance towards it all, right? And that combative defensive stance is the fuel to the fire that fear needs to thrive, right? So on one hand, we completely agree. We completely agree that recovery is the end goal. But on the other hand, during the heat of the moment, during the process, we don't want to take a combative stance. So that might sound a little bit complicated, but we're going to address what we mean by that in tonight's stream. Living alongside all of this stuff, instead of trying to use acceptance, some people call it like a pill, instead of using acceptance and then looking over your shoulder and saying, please go away, which is just more fear, which is just more of a combative defensive stance, right? So we're going to address that tonight. My nose is like itchy. I wasn't picking my nose there, by the way. I was kind of just going at it like this. I don't know what's going on there. Allergies, maybe? I don't know. I got a runny nose tonight, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get started because we are, let's see, we're almost 8 minutes into this thing. We need to go ahead and get going. So let's get rid of this and let's get started. So, anxiety recovery, you guys, anxiety recovery. Live alongside your negative thoughts. At the end of this, I'll probably actually go back and put in there live alongside your negative thoughts and symptoms because really it's the same exact thing. But anyway, what does it mean to live alongside your symptoms and thoughts? What it means is that while you're using acceptance, and like we just said, we know that recovery is the end goal, but while you're using acceptance, you're not looking over your shoulder saying, I wish these things would go away. So back in my day, when I was practicing acceptance, trying to get the hang of it, and I would have these very negative, intrusive thoughts, and sometimes they were extremely sticky, and they were almost stuck on repeat. Right? And they were causing some anxiety. I would try my best to use acceptance as a means to make it go away in the moment, which was just more of a combative stance. What does that look like? It looks like this. Okay, I've got a thought. It's very negative. It's on repeat. It's causing physical triggers, right? It's causing my body to be physically triggered. That's a better way to put that. And so I would sit there and I would tell myself things like, okay, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to focus on this and it'll leave me alone. It'll go away. I don't want to have this, so I'm going to do whatever I can to make it go away. I'm going to use this acceptance thing to make it go away, right? And automatically, before I even had a chance to really do anything, I was already in a very defensive, combative stance, which is never going to work, right? Which is never going to work because the more you want something to go away, the more you fight against something, right? You're just giving it that fear that it needs to thrive. You're just putting fear on top of fear. Okay, so a better way to put it when you're talking about true acceptance, a better way to put it when you're talking about teaching your brain, truly teaching your brain, rewiring your brain, retraining your brain. A better way to put it is like this. I've got these negative intrusive thoughts. They're causing me to be physically triggered. I'm going to live alongside it. And what that means is I'm using acceptance. What are the two main keys? Live your life, stop fighting with it all. So if I'm going to turn my attention to what I'm doing, maybe I'm scrolling Facebook or doing whatever it is that I'm doing. While I do that, I'm not going to be looking over my shoulder the whole time saying, okay, is this technique working? Right? No, instead, I'm just living alongside of it so that whatever comes, comes. Whatever happens, happens. Now, of course, I'm using the accepting inner voice while I do this. So these negative intrusive thoughts are there. What does the accepting inner voice mean? It does not mean to fight with these thoughts. It looks like this. Okay, here's these thoughts. Say what you want to say. Right? Short, sweet, and simple. Say what you want to say. Do what you want to do. It's good to feel. I'm glad to feel this. I'm happy to feel this. I want to feel this. I can feel this, right? These are all just little examples that I'm spitballing at you here. Maybe the thought says you're going to go crazy. You can get a little sassy. You can say, okay, let it happen, right? And then you go back to what you're doing. You go back to living life. And that doesn't mean you have to do anything extreme. It just means in big or small ways. I really don't care what you do as long as it's not sitting around fighting with the anxiety. So there's a little example. I get a thought, oh, you're going to go crazy. It's very sticky. It's very intrusive. It's been on repeat for maybe hours now, right? Anytime I notice that I'm going to get up in my head and start worrying with it and start fighting with it, I'm simply going to use acceptance. I'm going to say, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I go back to living my life. But I'm not looking over my shoulder after I make that choice and saying, okay, why is it so sticky? Why is it still here? Why is it still up there? Why is it still up there swimming around? I'm not questioning anything. I'm living alongside it. I'm not questioning anything. I'm going back to living my life, but I'm living alongside it, which means when I go back to living my life, I'm going to accept the fact that it's still up there, right? It'll go away on its own time, which means while I use acceptance and I tell myself, you know what, if it happens, it happens. I do the opposite of worry, right? I catch the worry, I turn it into the accepting inner voice, and I get back to living. While I do that, I become okay with the fact that it'll still probably be up there swimming around a bit. I don't do that. I don't use the accepting inner voice and get back to living and then say, "Oh gosh, it's not gone away. I did the technique. It's not gone away. I did the technique. It's still up there." Right? I don't go that far. I don't take it that far. I don't start to investigate that far. I don't question it. So a lot of people, they understand, okay, well, if I notice that I start worrying over a thought and feeling, or, Wonder Bro told me to turn it into the accepting inner voice, so be it. Just little examples I've been spitballing at you and get back to living, aka the two main keys. Stop fighting with it all, get back to living. That's what Wonder Bro told me to do. Great. I'm going to do that. And so next time they experience these thoughts or feelings, they do that. But then right after they do that, they go, oh shit, it's still up there. Oh shit, it's still swimming around. Oh shit, this is not working, right? They start to investigate really deeply. They start to investigate really deeply. They start to question it all. You got to understand, it takes time for the brain to catch up. It takes time for rewiring to happen. It takes time for acceptance to do its thing. So you're probably still going to feel rough. But if you start looking over your shoulder and questioning it all, you're going right back to the combative stance. So it's like you're putting in the work in a way. You're using that accepting inner voice, you're spotting the worry, stomping it out, you're living your life, but you're going right back to second fear 10 seconds later by questioning it. You're going right back to second fear 10, 15, 20 seconds later by questioning it. That's why we want to tell you tonight, you got to live alongside of it. Okay, that's the title of this stream. You got to live alongside of it. So when you have these thoughts and feelings and you're working on catching that second fear, aka that worry, you're using that accepting inner voice, okay, so be it, and you're getting back to living your life, right? You got to stop questioning it at that point. You got to be willing to live alongside of it, right? Because it takes time for the brain to catch up. It takes time for, you know, the brain to say, okay, let me rearrange all of this, right? Let me rearrange all this. Let me make these correct changes. It takes time for that to happen. So the moment you use the accepting inner voice and you cut out the worry and you get back to living your life, the two main keys, quit fighting with it all, live your life. The moment you start practicing that, if you're turning around 20 seconds later and questioning it, You're not using acceptance at all. You're doing it for a minute and then you're going right back to the second fear. You're doing it for a second and then you're going right back to being combative. You're doing it for a second and then you're going right back to fueling the fire. So, if you're trying to use acceptance like a pill, like some people put it, right? Then we need to make a huge adjustment. We need to make a huge adjustment because to spot that second fear, aka that worry, turn it into that short, sweet, accepting inner voice and get back to living, that's all great. That's all good. That is the practice. But if you're questioning it right after, oh God, these thoughts aren't leaving, they're still sticky, they're still swimming around up there, then you're going right back to fighting 15 seconds later, right? You're going right back to fighting 15 seconds later. So if you're guilty of that, we're not trying to shame you. We're just trying to help you. We're just trying to correct you. We're trying to get you back on track. I think a good way to put it, that way, we can kind of put it into perspective here. A good way to put it is live alongside it all. So you're using acceptance. You know that recovery is your end goal. We're not trying to take your end goal away from you. But in the process, you've got to have the attitude of living alongside of it. In the process, you've got to have the attitude of living with it. Because if you're using acceptance and turning around 15 seconds later and say, okay, well, I'm focusing on Facebook, but the thoughts are still there. Why are they still there? You're going right back to fighting, right? So instead of using acceptance like a pill, instead of using acceptance as a means to an end, use it while you live alongside all of this stuff. All right? It comes back to the whole don't base your recovery off the way that you feel thing. Okay? It takes time for a brain to make these changes. Recovery takes time. Okay? And we're not trying to take that away from you. Again, we know that's your end goal. But during the process, you cannot be looking over your shoulder, questioning it, and fighting with it. Right? It's good that you're making the first steps of trying to use that accepting inner voice. It's good that you're making the first steps of trying to be okay with these thoughts and feelings rather than fighting and being combative against them. That's all great. But if you're doing the questioning part, okay, I used acceptance, but the thoughts are still swimming around up there, then you're still going right back to fighting. You've replaced one fight with another fight, right? You've replaced one fight with another fight, and that's an easy mistake to make. It's a very easy mistake to make, and that's why I wanted to do this stream tonight. So if you've taken the first steps of recovery, that's great. But if you're doing the questioning, you've just replaced one fight with another fight. You've just replaced one fight with another fight, right? And we're like I said, we're not trying to shame you for that. We're just trying to correct you. We're just trying to correct you and put you back on board. So understand, if you're spotting the worry, stomping it out, using the accepting inner voice, and then getting back to living, and you're making that your main goal, breaking out of the cycle, congrats, you deserve a round of applause. But if you're turning around 15 seconds later and questioning it all, okay, why is the thought still there? Maybe it's not making it go away. If you're doing that, then you're going right back to fighting. And that's what we don't want to do. That is the fuel to this fire, right? That is the fuel to this fire. So you've got to use the advice, and you got to use it with the understanding that you're going to be living alongside these things for a little bit, right? Now, that's not to say they won't work quickly. That's not to say you might not experience some quick relief, right? I don't know. But whether you do or whether you don't is irrelevant. You can't go back into the combative questioning. Because the moment you go back into the combative questioning, wondering why it's all still there, then you're back to being combative. And we know that being combative is what causes these things to grow. We know that we should never feed what we don't want to grow. And when you question it all, you are feeding what you don't want to grow. You're getting worked up. You're doing the worry. We know that worry equals anxiety. We know that worry activates the stress response. So understand, if you're going to dedicate to acceptance, two main keys: live your life, stop fighting with it all. If you're going to start spotting that worry, that second fear, it's the same thing. Turning it into that short, sweet, accepting inner voice and getting back to living. If you're going to dedicate to that, congrats, that's awesome. You're going to change your life. But you need to look at these thoughts and feelings as something that you're going to be living alongside for a little while, okay, until the brain gets the message, instead of looking at them as something that you need to question why they're still there. You need to drop the questioning. You can't question your way out of this. You can't think your way out of this. You've tried to think your way out of this for years. How far has it gotten you, right? This is all about getting uninvolved, getting re-involved in life, and stop fighting with it all. So if you're sitting around doing a lot of questioning, that is just another form of fighting. That is just another form of fighting, right? So a lot of people say, well, I get back to living my life, but the thoughts are still there. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Being present, living your life, refocusing, all this crap does not mean the thoughts are going to disappear. A lot of people, when they first come into being present, living their life, refocusing, all this good stuff, they come into it with the very false and very wrong belief that it's going to make their thoughts stop. And now they're really fucked. Why? Because they're coming into it with this impossible theory that the moment I start living my life, all my thoughts will just magically disappear, and I'll never have another negative thought ever again, right? So when they start to try to stop fighting with it all and living their life, but they still have these thoughts that come, right? They still have these sticky thoughts. They think, oh, well, I'm doing something wrong. Well, let me get upset about it, right? Now we're in a big mess. You got to understand, when you stop fighting with it all and you go back to living your life, that does not mean that you're never going to have another negative thought again. That does not mean that you won't have a sticky thought from time to time. But you live your life regardless alongside of it all, which is the main point of this stream, right? So people they try to refocus on living their life, which is great. That doesn't mean that thoughts are just going to stop coming. That doesn't mean that thoughts are just going to stop coming. Who do you think you are? Right? Who the hell do you think you are? The thoughts will come, guys. The feelings will come. Even once you decide to stop fighting with it and live your life and use that accepting inner voice and then refocus on living your life time and time again instead of fighting with it all, thoughts will still come. They will still be sticky. But the whole point is you're busy living your life, so you're not fighting with it all, right? And not all the time can we be busy. And that's okay too. We can still practice that accepting inner voice. We can still practice not fighting with it all, right? But it takes time for the brain to learn. And that's why the title of this stream is Live Alongside of It. It doesn't mean use acceptance and then it all gets like eliminated, right? It means use acceptance, live alongside of it. The changes will be made in time, right? And again, that doesn't mean that you won't experience quick relief, but it also doesn't mean that you're going to see 100% overnight. All right. So that was the main point of today's stream, guys. I hope somebody takes something from it. While you're using acceptance, stop looking over your shoulder saying, okay, why am I not 100% feeling better already? Stop looking over your shoulder saying, why are the thoughts still coming? Stop looking over your shoulder and saying, why are they still sticky? No, you worry about living your life and stop fighting with it all, using that accepting inner voice instead of fighting with it all, right? And the rest will take care of itself. Stop digging deep with all the questions, okay, guys? Because that in itself is still very much a fight. All right, so we're gonna head on over to post stream. Man, that was a good one tonight. That was a good one. How long did I rant for, chat? Let's see, almost 25 minutes. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's see. I know I missed a lot of comments. Let's see if I can get caught up. Let's see. It'll always be more fulfilling to live your life than to try to combat anxiety. But the whole point of tonight's stream was that doesn't mean it's going to all instantly disappear. It might still be floating around up there, but you're living alongside of it instead of fighting with it, right? You're removing the juice, you're removing the fuel, but that doesn't mean it's just going to magically all disappear, right? Not, right away. Not right away. It takes time. And in most cases, let's see. Thank you for this, Wonder Bro. I really needed this. You're welcome, Edward. I hope you enjoyed it. Great stream tonight, Wonder Bro. I appreciate that, Gina. Thank you so much. I'm totally on board with what you're saying. However, when symptoms are very Severe acceptance seems like an impossible task. That's just another mindset. That's just another thought. So the longer you go around telling yourself acceptance seems like an impossible task, the more you run the risk of that becoming a concreted belief. And once that becomes a concreted belief, that doesn't mean you're entirely screwed, but it now means that we're going to have to reverse that. So a belief is nothing more than a thought that you entertain. So if I go around all day long talking about how impossible this acceptance thing is, that's slowly going to become who I am. That's going to become my mindset, and that's definitely who we don't want to become. So when the thought comes that this impossible task of acceptance is just that, impossible, you have two choices. Entertain that and start to pour the concrete on it if you want that to be who you become, or say, you know what, so be it. Say what you want to say. I'm not going to entertain or concrete that thought. I'm not going to entertain that thought. I'm going to accept that thought, and if that thought wants to come again, that's fine. And if that thought wants to swim around in my head, that's fine. But I'm not adding any concrete to it because that's not who I am and that's not who I want to become. I don't want to become a person who says this acceptance thing is just impossible, right? Because you got to understand, you are nothing more than the programs that you've installed by the thoughts that you've concreted. It's up to you once you want to concrete. Or do you want to accept it, even though it's very uncomfortable sometimes? Do you want to accept it, not add the concrete, and eventually you'll move on with your life, right? You decide what you lay the concrete down on, right? You decide. So if that thought comes, anxiety or, acceptance seems like an impossible task. Do you want to lay the concrete on that by entertaining that all day long, right? And maybe that didn't come in the form of a thought. Maybe that's just what you've been telling yourself for so long. Do you want to keep telling yourself that? Right? You are nothing more than everything that you've laid concrete on. That's what makes up who you are. So it's really your choice at the end of the day. What's up, Pooty? Welcome, dude. We're in here talking about thoughts and beliefs and not entertaining thoughts, all that good stuff. Welcome. Do you used to play ranked in Rainbow Six? From time to time. Time to time, not a whole lot. What's up, George? Welcome, dude. Hey, we're happy to have you as a part of this community, Edward. Happy to have you here. Sounds like your brain is starting to work for you rather than against you, Pooty, which is what happens when you stop concreting negative thoughts all day long. And what I mean by concreting is entertaining or fighting with or arguing with, whatever you want to call it. So now that you're no longer entertaining, fighting with, concreting negative thoughts, your brain's starting to work for you rather than against you. Definitely not a bad thing. Definitely not a bad thing. The mind is not a villain, right? We're not trying to make the mind into an enemy, but you've programmed it to be a certain way, and now you're ripping up those old programs by no longer entertaining all this crap, and it's starting to work in a different way for you. That's great. Hey, we just got a $5 tip from my boy Sam in chat. Sam, thank you so much for the $5 tip, dude. First tip of the night, man. I appreciate you. Look at that, guys. We're on a 26-day streak. Record pace, man. I appreciate it. Will we make it to 30? That is insane. When I first started it, I thought we might make it to like 10 or something and then have to start over every now and then again. But here we are at 26 days. 26 days. What the fuck? What's up, peeps? What's up, Cassie? Welcome. Guys, you have to understand, whatever thoughts you entertain or fight with or argue with, you're just pouring concrete on them. You're making them important. Therefore, they're more likely to come around in the future. So, for example, if you keep telling yourself that acceptance seems like an impossible task, then that becomes your belief, right? But that doesn't mean you're entirely fucked, because you can stop entertaining it at any time, right? And if the mind throws that thought at you again in the future, you know not to entertain it. It's okay if it's there, but you don't have to respond. It's very tempting, but you don't have to. You can use that accepting inner voice instead. Maybe even get a little sassy and say, okay, so be it. You're not saying so be it because you believe that it's impossible. You're saying so be it because you're no longer adding concrete. So you're just going to be a little sassy instead of adding concrete to that thought, right? So as these thoughts and feelings come, you use acceptance, you stop fighting with it all, you get back to living, and therefore you're ripping up all the old concrete, and slowly the brain starts to work in a different way for you. You start to rewrite these pathways. You see what we're doing here? You've concreted all this bullshit for so long, and now we're ripping it up by no longer pouring extra concrete, right? So that's what we're doing. We're ripping all this old shit up by no longer adding extra concrete, right? Sanchez, what's up, dude? What's up, Sanchez? Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. Well, I don't know if I'd call it procrastinating because these problems don't exist. They're just in your head, right? Now, if one day they do exist, then we'll talk about it. If one day they do exist, then we'll talk about the action that you can take, but there ain't shit you can do about it now. So I wouldn't call it procrastination. To procrastinate on something means that there's something you can do about it now, and you're choosing not to. Well, there's nothing you can do about this bullshit in your head now, right? So I don't know if I'd use the word procrastinate there. But other than that, I agree with what you're saying. You get what I'm saying, though? The word procrastinate kind of hits at the fact that there's something you can do about it. There's not, though. Not in this case. You got to remember, guys, you need to live alongside these thoughts and feelings for now instead of pouring concrete on them. They're more likely to continue to bother you the more you pour concrete on them, which means the more you entertain them and fight with them and argue with them and all that good shit, right? And that's why the title of this stream says live alongside them. Wonderful question. So I'm still in recovery and feel much better than I've ever have due to your advice. There's days I feel anxiety coming on and the boom off, gone, and then again off, on, like someone flipping the switch on and on, or off and on. Sounds like you're normal, right? Sounds like you're normal. Sounds like you made a ton of progress and now you're having little opportunities throughout your days to continue retraining. That's all that is. A back and forth. Kind of feels like a tug of war at times, but this is completely normal. If you ever got to travel to what country would you like to go? That's a good question. A different country. Uh, Probably Britain. Probably Britain. The UK. Mm. Warner Bro. Always on his game. Damn quick at this. Amazing. You get used to it. Practice. Practice, practice. Yeah, I would say for you, Sanchez, and I would, anybody else that's listening, you need to take full advantage of those moments when those thoughts and feelings are there because they're there because we've concreted them in the past. And the only opportunities that we get at ripping that concrete up is when they're activated. So we need to take advantage of when those thoughts and feelings are activated. Sanchez! Jump scared the shit out of me. Why do I always leave my mic on 100? I do that every single time. Every single time. Thank you, Sanchez. We got the spooky organ playing for Halloween. Thank you so much, Sanchez, for the $6 tip. And the $6 tip again. Thank you, dude. You love the sound, don't you? You love it. Hey. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. He's gonna break it again. He's gonna end up breaking it again. Thank you so much, Sanchez. I appreciate you, dude. Huge shout out to Sanchez in the chat, guys. We're on that 26-day streak. That's amazing. That's amazing. I appreciate it. Seriously, every single one of you. What's good, my dude? How's it go today, Wonder Bro? What's up, George? Hope you're having a good day today, man. Play some Halloween music. You know what? That's actually a really good idea. Why are we sitting here in the silence? Let's get some Halloween music going. That's a good idea, Sanchez. Let's see how this playlist goes. I've never listened to it before, but royalty free Halloween Music Mix 2018. Let's see. Wow, I think this is an intense one. Okay, that one's a little much. Sanchez! Sanchez, my guy. Thank you so much, Sanchez. That puts us at 23, chat. 23, chat. We're on that 26-day streak. Thank you so much, Sanchez. Give a round of applause to Sanchez, dude. Is that again? Was that again? I'm getting lost now. I'm lost. I think that was again. What is that, 4? I don't know. I might be miscounting at this point. Sanchez. Sanchez, you're awesome, dude. I love you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Let's give a round of applause in the chat to Sanchez, and let's not, hold on. There was somebody else, who was it? Let's not forget about Sam. Let's not forget about Sam. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Sanchez likes to hear that organ be played. Alright. We got some spooky tunes. We got some spooky tunes for you. Let me try to adjust that volume and get it just right. You guys got to let me know on the volume, man. I hear it at a different volume than you guys do on the stream. So if it's a little low, you got to let me know. If it's a little high, you got to let me know. You just got to speak up. Would, if my anxiety, depression caused so much tension and uneasiness that I can't genuinely connect in conversations / relationships, how do I smile and laugh when anxiety is flooding me? So here's the thing. The whole living your life thing, and we've talked about positive behaviors in the past. Positive behaviors are great, but there's got to be a layer of acceptance there while you're using positive behaviors. It's going to be difficult for you to connect, to smile, to laugh. It's going to be difficult for you to do these things if you're not using both of the 2 main keys. So if you're just trying to live your life, which is a great start, but you're still in your head fighting with all of these feelings and thoughts, it's going to be difficult for you to do that. It's going to be difficult for you to live your life. That's why you need both of the 2 main keys. And that's not to say it doesn't take some work. It does. But it's going to be very, very difficult. More difficult than it has to be if you're up in your head fighting with all of it while you're trying to live your life. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say there? You can't have one of the 2 main keys without the other. So as you're trying to live your life, connect with people, yada, 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 you want to make sure you're using that accepting inner voice too, aka not fighting with all the thoughts and feelings, spotting that worry, that second fear, and stomping it out, replacing it with that accepting inner voice. Get a little bit sassy if you want to, right? Get a little bit sassy if you want to with these thoughts and feelings, but don't fight with them. Use that accepting inner voice. So you can't have one of the 2 main keys without the other, right? So again, if you're trying to live your life, that's great. But don't forget that one of the 2 main keys is don't be up in your head mentally fighting with all these thoughts and feelings. Use that accepting inner voice. You can't have one without the other. 2 main keys. That'll make the whole living your life part of the equation easier. A lot easier if you're actually using the not fighting with it all part of the equation. I love to see all the Halloween emojis, man. It just, I don't know, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. I love it. Sanchez making all the fun today. Sanchez loves to blast that that Halloween sound effect. He loves it. He loves it, dude. He loves it. He can't get enough of it. Hey, I'm not over here complaining either. I'm glad that I'm glad that he loves it. Let him love it. Let him love it, chat. Let's see. Did I miss any comments? Let's scroll up a bit. Appreciate your videos. Accept your fears and walk towards your fear. Do not avoid. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Guys, everybody take a second in the chat really quick to run to that thumbs up and give that thumbs up a press. All right? I know it seems kind of irrelevant and it seems kind of insignificant, but it really does help the channel grow. I don't know why that affects the algorithm here on YouTube, but it does. So if we could get a bunch of thumbs up, let's see how many we can get. What are we at right now? I'm gonna fact check you guys on this. Okay, we're at 13. Can we get that a little bit higher? Can we get that 13 thumbs up a little bit higher? Everybody who's not pressed that thumbs up, go press that thumbs up. I know it's easy to forget. It's very easy to forget, and I suck at reminding you guys, but I'm reminding you tonight. All right, go press that thumbs up. I got you. Thanks for the advice. No problem, dude. So you see what I'm saying there, right? Made man, you see what I'm saying. If you're living your life, but you're in your head the whole time fighting with it all, not using that accepting inner voice, you see the problem there? All right, we just went from 13 likes up to 17. Thank you guys. See, I mean, that's just proof. It's proof that it's easy to forget to do the thumbs up, and I suck at reminding you guys. Everybody forgets, including myself. I forget. So I'll try to start reminding you guys, but I do appreciate it. Let's see. This song's a little bit slow. Let's put on something better. There we go. All right. And we got an ad, but I was able to catch it tonight. That never happens. 19 thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you've not hit that thumbs up, go press that thumbs up. Only takes a second. Hey, and if you ever get bored, guys, all right, listen. If you ever get bored and you're sitting around and you're thinking, you know what, I've got nothing to do tonight. I'm a little bit bored. I wish I had something to do. You know what you can do? You know what you could do if you ever find yourself in that predicament? You could go on YouTube. You could go to my channel. You could pull up my videos and just start thumbs upping all my videos. Right? Right? That's something you can do if you're bored, and I would truly appreciate it. All right, let's see. Let's see here. Hey, Wonder Bro, question. Say someone actually has a medical condition that causes anxiety feelings. Would acceptance help with something like that? Do you get what I'm saying? I get what you're saying, and I'm here to tell you that nothing's going to cause anxious feelings quite like second fear. There's plenty of medical conditions that exist out in the world that play with physical symptoms. However, if you talk to 90% of those people, they're not going to tell you oh my God, my medical condition makes me so anxious. It's going to be very rare that you come across somebody with an actual real physical medical condition that's causing anxiety to the extreme. Because what causes anxiety to the extreme is not so much the medical condition itself. It is second fear. It is sensitization, right? So there's a lot of people who probably, I don't know what your medical condition is, but there's a lot of people out there that probably share the same medical condition as you, but if you talk to them, they're not going to tell you about how anxious they are, right? Because they're not adding second fear. They're not sensitized. So, although I do realize and I accept the fact that there is medical conditions out there that cause some physical symptoms that might mimic anxiety, whatever, right? I get that. But nothing's going to cause you to be an anxious mess quite like second fear. Nothing's going to cause you to be an anxious mess quite like sensitization. There's plenty of people that probably share the same exact diagnosis as you, and they're not worried about anxiety, right? And that's proof enough that you can have whatever medical condition it is that you have and be anxiety free, right? For the most part. That's not to say maybe your medical condition doesn't cause some physical symptoms here and there. But when we're talking about second fear and sensitization, there is nothing in the world, including medical conditions, that's going to cause you to be sensitized except for second fear, right? There is no medical condition that exists that comes along with sensitization. Oh, you've got this medical condition? Okay, well now you're sensitized. Doesn't work like that. Nervous system doesn't work like that. So again, I accept the fact that there is medical conditions that come along with physical symptoms that kind of mimic anxiety or are anxious symptoms, whatever. But nothing's going to cause you to be sensitized and miserable with anxiety like second fear. That's going to be the root cause every single time. Thumbs up, everybody. Yes, thumbs up, thumbs up. Now we got to go from 29 to 50. Will we hit the tip goal today? Will we move on to a 27-day streak? I don't know. 30's right around the corner. The music's getting intense. Why is it getting intense? What's happening? What's going on? All right. We need to chill for a second. You're chanting and the music is intense. I know. I feel like I need to do something. I don't know. Alright, that one's over. That one's over. We're moving on to a new song. Oh, this one's my favorite. Nice. This one's my favorite. What's up, Jesse? Welcome, dude. It's been a minute, man. How have you been? Yeah, I know. That was good timing. Yeah, Carlos, and again, I am not underplaying, and I am not disagreeing with the fact that there can be, hold up, hold that thought for a second. Mom of eight making the pumpkins. What is that? A pumpkin and two cats doing the monster smash, the monster. Did the monster. What was it? The monster. It's the monster smash, right? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been in elementary school, but Mom of Eight coming in with the $21 tip says, "Thank you for helping anxious people everywhere and continuing Dr. Claire Weeks' work. Thank you so much, Mom of Eight." Let's give a huge, huge round of applause. Spam those emojis. Let's get some pumpkins, right? Let's stay on theme here. Let's get some pumpkins in the chat for Mom of Eight. Thank you so much. You know what that means, chat? You know what that means? That takes us to our tip goal, which also means we're going to a 27-day streak. We are 3 days away, chat. 3 days away from a 30-day streak. That is an entire month where we have hit our tip goal. Do you realize how insane that is? Honestly, I thought when I started it, we'd make it to like 10 days every now and then we'd have to restart it here and there. But look at us, chat. We're at 27 days. We need to get those pumpkins in the chat to celebrate all of our tippers that have helped us get here, not just tonight, but all the tippers who have helped bring us to 27 days. So Mom of Eight tonight, though, and Sanchez tonight, Sam tonight, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Huge shout out. I think it's also important to mention, okay, real quick, I think it's important to mention that these people, Mom of Eight, Sanchez especially, Mom of Eight, like I said, they're not just one-time tippers. They have supported the channel and they have helped us hit these tip goals way more than once. So we should give them a huge round of applause. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Moving on to that 27-day streak, 3 days away from 30. That is insane. Appreciate it. I love to see all the pumpkins. I love to see it. Love to see it. And it's absolutely my pleasure, Mom of Eight. Happy to help. So what was I saying? What was I gonna say? I was gonna talk about that medical condition comment because I think it's important to drive it home. Again, I just wanted to say I'm not doubting the existence of medical conditions. Other medical conditions, physical conditions, health conditions, people have them. It happens. A lot of people have medical conditions, right? However, okay, I'm also not doubting that these medical conditions can cause physical symptoms. However, nothing causes you to be sensitized, quite like second fear. That is what's going to break you out of this cycle regardless of what medical condition you might have that causes some physical symptoms from time to time, right? Nothing's going to keep you in the sensitized boat and make you miserable like second fear, aka worry. So regardless of the medical condition you have, which I'm assuming you're already seeking treatment for, obviously, right? Regardless of the medical condition that you have, however, nothing's going to keep you sensitized but you. Nothing is going to keep you sensitized but you. There's millions of people that have medical conditions that do not complain about anxiety. Why? Because they're not sensitized. So that's proof enough that regardless of your medical condition, you can live a life not dominated by anxiety. So you got to take responsibility for that, however, yourself, right? With that nasty second fear habit, aka that worry habit. How do you break it, chat? The two main keys. Live your life, stop fighting with it all. Like the title of this stream says, live alongside it, right? Absolutely, Mindy. In fact, I've got a close friend who's got a thyroid issue. She does not complain about anxiety. She does not consider herself an anxious person, right? So again, although medical conditions come along with some physical symptoms, they do not necessarily cause you to be sensitized. The only thing that causes you to be sensitized and miserable with anxiety is your own worry habit, right? And I've got the proof for you right there. Like I said, I've got a very close friend who's got a thyroid issue. She does not consider herself to be an anxious person. You're no different. You're no different. The only thing that's going to keep you sensitized and keep you miserable with anxiety is your own worry habit, aka that second fear habit. Just went to get a COVID test. The nerves are real, just waiting for the results. So I'm going to quiz you now after you got your COVID test, which is what we call taking real world action. So that's fine. However, after you got your COVID test, what have you been doing all day? Have you been sitting around wondering whether or not you're going to test positive? Have you been sitting around all day worrying about whether or not those results are going to be negative or positive? Have you been sitting around all day debating with yourself about why it won't be positive? Have you been arguing with it all day? If you have, it's time to turn towards acceptance. It's time to say when those thoughts come, it is what it is and it'll be what it'll be. You've taken the real world action, and now it's time to drop the absolute insanity of the worry cycle, right? How do you do that? Through practice, living your life. Stop fighting with it all. Live your life accepting inner voice. So that's your little quiz. You don't have to answer that out loud. But, if that speaks to you in some sort of way, I hope you make the appropriate changes for your own sake, right? I love all the Halloween emojis. Yes, you have been doing all that bad stuff. Yes, LOL. How'd you know? I wonder. How did I know, chat? How did I know? You would almost, it would almost seem like I've been talking to sensitized people and helping people recover from sensitization for about 4 years now. And been through it myself. It would almost seem that way, wouldn't it? Hey, let's make those appropriate changes, Style Alert. Does it matter if you find out what started your sensitization? Not necessarily, because no matter how deep you go, you're going to eventually reach the conclusion that what started your path down the sensitized road was worry, was second fear, because worry activates the stress response. So regardless of the particular situation that put you down the extreme worry path, you've probably always been a worrier. But whether or not you find one particular thing that happened in your life that puts you down the worry path is kind of irrelevant, because the root cause is always going to be that worry. So you already know what started it, right? You already know what started it. That's the thing about worry. You're not going to come to any conclusions. The mind is just always going to throw you loophole after loophole. So not only are you wasting your time because you're never going to reach that conclusion that you want to reach with worry, but you're also just beating those nerves up in the process, man. Right? You're also just beating those nerves up in the process. If what triggers your anxiety is your job, would you suggest quitting, eliminating the stressor? I would say, first and foremost, you can only run for so long. You can change jobs, and look, there's nothing wrong with saying I want a better career. There's nothing wrong with improving your life. There's nothing wrong with saying I want a job that makes me happy, right? There's nothing wrong with any of that. But if you're not addressing the root cause, which is all the constant worry that you do, if you're not addressing that, then no matter what job you go to, you're going to find something to worry about. Your worry is just going to switch. It's going to go to something else. If you're in a bad habit of adding second fear, you got to break that habit, and then we'll tackle improving our lives, changing our jobs, stuff like that. Which that doesn't mean you can't go ahead and change your job if you're really passionate about doing that. You can, but you need to be addressing that root problem. Hey, you're on the right track, Booty. Your brain's starting to work for you rather than against you. You're starting to rip all this old concreted shit up, and you're starting to have a brain that's starting to work in a different way now, which that in itself might spook you a bit. Wow, my brain's starting to do something different? What do you mean? It's not a bad thing, though. Not a bad thing. But does that make sense what I said, Style Alert? You know, there's nothing wrong with improving our lives. If you're passionate about finding a new job, go find one. But make sure you're working on that root habit, right? That root fear there, which is the worry habit, right? The root cause, I meant to say. Make sure you're working on that root cause, which is the non-acceptance, which is the constant second fear, all that good stuff. How do you break that, chat? The two main keys. Live your life, stop fighting with it all. Accepting inner voice, get back to living life instead of pouring gas on all of it. So, you know, nothing wrong with improving your life, but make sure you're working on those fundamentals in the meantime. Or else you're just going to find something else to worry about, right? Because the habit remains. Let's see here. I know I just keep replaying this one song, but I love it. It's not too intense. It's chill. It's Halloweeny. I like it. That's actually it, bro. It did spook me, and I laughed about it and was like, oh, well, I accept it and keep watching my documentary. Your brain's just starting to work in different ways for you, which, again, is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. We've never said that your mind's a villain or that it's an enemy or that it's a monster, right? We don't ever want you to view it that way. We just want you to know that you're in control of what thoughts you entertain and what thoughts you accept. And even though the accepting process might not be the most comfortable process in the world, you never want to add gas because you know what happens when you do that. Sanchez is loving the pumpkins, dude. He's keeping the vibe alive. He's not letting the vibe die. He's not letting the vibe die. He's not letting it go. He's like, no, no. Everyone else is gonna stop putting Halloween emotes, not me. Not me. He's going a mile a minute. Alright, let's see if I missed any comments. Let's scroll up here. Chat's moving pretty quick tonight, so. Thank you, Wonder Bro. You're welcome, Sanchez. Okay, I'm way up here. Lacey with the heart emote. I see it. I see it. Thank you, gorgeous. Dr. Claire Weeks was the shizzle. She sure was. She sure was. Yeah, people kind of shit on acceptance at first because they don't understand it, right? And what you don't understand, it's easier to shit on than to get to know about it. So people hear the word acceptance and they jump to all these premature conclusions about what acceptance might mean before actually sitting down to learn about why it works, how it works, and what the cycle is. So before they even get the facts, they're already shitting on it. It's like I said, they hear the word acceptance, they jump to a bunch of premature conclusions. And that's the problem. So, but when people actually hit that dead end, when they hit that wall and they don't know where else to turn, and they're more willing to learn about something that they don't know about, then they start to make all these realizations, right? And that's where we start to get into some major changes. Sanchez keeping the dream alive, man. He's keeping the dream alive. Also, guys, I haven't brought this up in a hot minute, so I'm going to bring this up real quick. If you are interested, right, and this is totally optional, but if you are interested in a one-on-one conversation with me, a little coaching session, DM me, shoot me a DM. I'll give you the details on that, and if we can work something out, then I'll toss you a call, and we'll talk about it. I'll talk to you about it. We'll have a little coaching session. So if it's something you're interested in, just toss me a DM. If you'd rather just watch the streams, get your information from here, so be it. It's all good either way, but if you are interested in that sort of thing, toss me a DM. Don't be shy. Let's talk. It's just a little something extra that I offer for people who feel like they absolutely want it, who need it, and not to toot my own horn, but I've never had anyone be disappointed. So something that you want or feel like you need, toss me a DM. Let's talk about it. All right, chat. You're all a bunch of lovely, amazing people. I absolutely love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here because we are approaching that 1 hour mark. We are approaching that 1 hour mark. So we're going to go ahead, wrap it up here. Again, thank you guys so much for all that you do. We moved on. We moved on to the 27-day streak today. It was an excellent stream tonight, man. Sanchez keeping the dream alive. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to drop that link to the Discord one more time. let's see, for anybody who wants to join us over there. And I'm going to go ahead and get our, what people call the channel theme song, ready to go. We're going to get the channel theme song ready to go because we're going to listen to that. Try to make that a habit. Try to make that something we do every single stream now. So let's get that pulled up and ready to go. All right, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Until next time, as always. And remember, also, if you're bored tonight, go like a bunch of my videos. Let's go like a bunch of my videos. Let's keep the channel growing. Sanchez doesn't want to say goodbye. Sanchez doesn't want to say goodbye, coming in with the $2 tip. Thank you so much, Sanchez. I appreciate you. So we didn't just break tip goal tonight. We went past tip goal officially with that $2 tip. Thank you so much, Sanchez. I love you, dude. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right, guys. All right. Let's get on with it. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger.